It's Mac the Guru. This is my review for Power Book 3 Season 2, Episode 8. If this your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Now, I predicted Marvin might get knocked off. And he definitely got shot. Maybe he survived. Based on the preview that I just watched after watching the episode, it looked like he gonna survive just by how everybody is acting. You know, Lulu mannerisms, how Ra's acting. It seemed like they not as sad as they would be if Marvin died. Kanan, everybody, just based on the preview. But he did get shot. And I called it in a video I did a few days ago. I'm going to put it in the description so you can see how I was talking about Marvin and how he need to hunt down this dude and how he could possibly get knocked off based on how they be making the character act. And I'm going to tell you the exact moment when I knew this episode something was going to happen to Marvin. It was when him and Jukebox was sitting in the car and they finally made up. I'm like, she finally forgave Marvin. This is dope. And then I thought about it and I said, this how shows do. They have people having a conflict. When they finally get over the hump and settle that conflict, something else happened. So that's when I knew it ain't gonna be good for Marvin. And then at the end, he go see the therapist. They playing the music in the background. I'm like, yep, about to happen right now. And of course it happened. Now from this happening, the war is on. I mean, Ra gotta go, handle something and knock somebody off. And depending on who she knock off, I mean, Sal and them, they ain't gonna be able to just settle the score. Especially if Marvin live. He already lost his son. If Ra go knock off some more people, then it's just gonna be like on forever. It's just gonna be like a war. It's gonna take a lot for them to come to terms. But I knew that was coming, man. And speaking of Marvin and Jukebox, dog, that Jukebox scene was hilarious. I mean, if y'all got any family members that went through something like Jukebox went through, I ain't never seen nothing like that, dog. Like, I ain't seen people sit people down, and they had an intervention with her and then start showing her a porn flick. Like, what? Who does that? Yo, like, this still a young girl, too. She's still in high school. Like, y'all start showing her a flick, all you grown folks around, they need to be in jail for that alone. Like, that was wild. That was super wild. And her mom right there. Her mom right there. And she ain't stop it. Man, Marvin should have went upside her head for that, dog. You don't do nothing like that. That's something that she just violated. Because she violated a young girl that's still in high school. Not just putting her hands up, but y'all just showing her something sexual on a TV. Like, you don't supposed to do that. Of course I was joking when I say that Marvin's supposed to go upside her head. That's a joke. All right, I don't want nobody to be like, oh, he advocate for, beating women or something crazy like that. But she was dead wrong for doing that. She should be in jail. That's facts. And everybody in that room should be in jail for showing that young girl that. But that whole scene is just like, where did they pull this from? Is this something that really happened in real life? Like, come on. That was crazy. But let's go to some scenes that I really, really liked. One was when the captain got on Burke's head. Because, Burke is violating right now, man. She all in our business. She done pulled up on Symphony. Now she done pulled up on Ra. And I really think that's where she messed up at. because the next time Howard and Rob meet, she definitely gonna tell him about Burke. And yes, I did see the preview for next week's episode. I'm gonna talk about that during the week. Alright, because I did see something in the preview that's on this topic right now with the Ra Kanan situation, Howard being his daddy situation. Now the crazy thing is Ra about to go through a lot because of Marvin, right? But at the end of this episode, they did find Crown's body. She about to be going through a lot because of Lulu too. Because finding the body will alert everybody that been looking for Crown. Somebody knocked them off, right? I mean, of course, it's a few people that know already. Like, I'm sure Fareed then put it together like, yo, Lulu must have knocked off Crown. But now, them people that was looking for that money, they gonna know. Ra gonna know. Everybody around the situation that knew Crown, famous, everybody gonna know somebody done knocked them off. And if people smart enough to put two and two together, it's gonna lead them to Lulu. Now, a few more scenes that I really liked, and I gotta touch on a couple of these before I get out of here, because I think they important, is Fareed and Ra, when they was having dinner again, and he said that the dude, Tremont, boy Abraham, then got locked up, right? I think Fareed's a snitch. I think that's one of the ways he then rose to the top, and he can move people out the way, because I think he's a snitch. And I think it's going to come back up where he going to be snitching on somebody else. And he might even be deep in the game where he's not even who he say he is at all. And he's just a straight, like, cop undercover or something like that. You know, it ain't no telling, but I definitely do think he a snitch. Then you also had Scrappy's mom, who is another person you gotta check for a wire, because she definitely might be wearing a wire. She pulls up on Kanan, and the thing is, Kanan don't need to be having no conversations with her. When I say none, I mean none. Because if she snitching and she wearing a wire, right, he could just be saying stuff that's not really saying a lot, but it's giving off the impression that Ra got the power to go handle something, and that she in a boss position, right? And that's some stuff that they will use if, you know, they came down to a courtroom situation. So he don't need to talk to her at all. And then we also had Ziza and Lulu. They had a few scenes together. I'm definitely starting to think she might be the one for Lulu. She might be down for him, you know. Until I see something else, that's where I'm at with that right now. The last thing of significance is when we find out the information, because the captain was talking to Howard, and we find out the information about Burke. Nicole dad thinks Burke like young girls, jukebox, could be one of those, and that she be supplying them with drugs. That's big, because now Howard know that, you know, it's something he can do and something he could use on Burke. But other than that, the scene I didn't like the most gotta be when Unique was talking to Marvin at the beginning, because Marvin had the cigarette in his hand and he was just all nervous and shook. I'm like, dog, keep your composure a little bit. I like Uncle Marvin. You know, he's one of the characters I really, really like, you know. And I like him and Lulu because they remind me of my uncles. To a certain extent, of course. Not just like everything, but, you know, I had two uncles, so they remind me of my two uncles in certain elements, in certain parts. But I ain't like that because he was just so shook during that scene. But the scene that I really enjoyed gotta be when they knocked off Dominic. That's the goofy mob dude. He was the goofy dude that was up at the camp that almost hurt Kanan. And he was super goofy and end up uh getting Marco knocked off. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I thought it was fire all the way through, you know. It moved at a cool pace. It was moving kind of fast, but it was cool. And they gave us a lot of information in the show, a lot in this episode, a lot of details, man. So I thought it was dope. It's Smack the Guru. Remember, if you're not subscribed and you still here, subscribe to the channel. And then, like always, y'all be easy, be safe. Peace.